What is up, my people? How is everybody doing today? To get off this highway so you can hear me a little bit better. I can start screaming less. Nonetheless, I wanted to get into the ownership experience I've had. I've owned this 1980 non-turbo W123 Mercedes-Benz 5-cylinder diesel for almost 3 years now. And it has been, let me tell you, an amazing experience. I haven't had any problems. I've lubricated everything way more than I need to. The sunroof still works immaculately. I get amazing fuel mileage, probably getting about 35 to 42 miles per gallon is from what I've calculated. And we're looking at about 133,000 miles on the clock right now. This is a super low mileage example. One owner, it was garage kept prior to this. There's a little bit of rust on the car. I have the full wrap with the satin anthracite wrap, the wheels painted, stock wheels, and we are getting off this highway so you can hear me better. I can start to lower my voice just a tad. What I wanted to mainly get into is the reliability of this car, the enjoyment of this car, the value of this car, how much it's worth now. You know, this is a very temperamental vehicle as far as the market goes. Now, you can necessarily have a lot of fluctuation through the cost of the vehicle, and let's start with that. I've seen these go for $1,000 because they have 500,000 plus miles, which, by the way, don't be afraid of buying one if it's got that many. That's honestly, like, probably it's still halfway through its life, if not more or less, because you can drive way more. Here's the thing, this car with high mileage, if it has a lot of rust, if it's missing parts, if a lot of things are breaking, if the vacuum system's messed up, if it has low compression, you can have a lot of trouble with it. And that can kill the value. Or you can have a low mileage example that, you know, if it's turboed, you're gonna have a little bit more value there. If it's not turboed, then it depends. It is what it is. Some people look at that in a negative way. Some people look at that in a positive way. I look at it as like, I don't really care kind of way. Pop open the sunroof just so we can get a little romantic out here. Plus, I want some better lighting. Got a little sunset over in the distance yonder. What was that? But to get straight to the point, you can find them anywhere in the range, depending on mileage and condition, like any car. You can find them anywhere from about $1,000, $1,500, depending on what, you know, who knows what they have or who values it so much. Low price, $1,000, $1,500 to $4,000, which I think $3,000 to $4,000, $2,000 to $4,000 is a really reasonable price to pick one of these up. And a decent example of one. You're not going to find some that are perfect because you got to go to junkyards to get parts off these when things go bad. Sometimes, most of the time. Sometimes you don't. I've seen some turbo, low mileage, really well garage kept, single owner examples go for $7,500, especially on bringatrailer.com. You can check the W123 archive history of what's been sold on there. Shout out to my boy Kev. You're a beast for pointing that website out to me. But you can see exactly how much they sell for on there. That can give you a good idea of what they're selling for, when they're selling for, what price and whatnot. Anyway, on to the next one. How have I been enjoying the car? Let me tell you right now, out of every vehicle I've owned, the F-150, the G35, the G37 stock, the G37 with the 2J swap that was pushing about 600 horsepower. What else? Any of the vehicles that I flipped and owned, the 987S, they're all great cars. But there's just something you get out of this that you can't get out of any other car. It has better suspension than my truck. It's slower than anything I've ever driven in my life. It's 40 years old almost and still has the same options I've had in, let's say, my Infiniti almost, except for like a touchscreen and nav. The sunroof works perfectly, knock on wood. I don't want to jinx myself there. Everything works perfect. The vacuum system's great. There's just nothing with this car that I've had issues with, and you know, I've been enjoying it so much, and let that have a, you know, sub text context leading into the next thing I was going to talk about is reliability. I've only had one thing go wrong with the car, I think, and it was the fuel line. I just had to replace some fuel lines because they were leaking, and if you let the car sit for 3 days, it would almost fully run out of fuel, which this is a diesel, so it takes diesel, obviously. Modifications I made to the car: steering wheel, $500 radio. That's about it. Oh, I actually have motorcycle lights, the Hella H1 motorcycle lights. I have them replacing the headlights because they were sealed beams, and the sealed beams just suck because instead of replacing a bulb, you now have to replace a full light, and they're low visibility. They're terrible. They just suck. These are a lot better. There's really not much else to go into. The fact that there's nothing negative about the car. I've never had any horror stories happen with this. The vehicle didn't have low compression. When I did find the car, I went through the checklist. There's a W123 checklist that I can list down below. Maybe I'll even throw it right here for you, just so you can see exactly what it is if you're looking to buy a W123 anytime soon. Maybe I'll make another video too going over that, but it's just crazy how much car you get for the price. And if I were to sell this, I don't think I'd be able to sell this for what I actually value it for. So, well, to be honest with you, insurance too, I'll go over insurance costs. If I took this off of my insurance, I would be paying more. Right now, I think I pay about $115 for all of my vehicles, full coverage, everything. I even have full coverage on this because I can't switch it up due to Progressive. I have insurance with Progressive. I've had them for about 5 years. I think I'm like a diamond member or something with them. Granted, I'm also a member of the Garden State Safety Council. I'm an instructor. I own a driving school, and I have so many other things going for me that can help my insurance, but don't necessarily help my insurance. I think my insurance over the past years, I also have a super clean driving record. Hopefully we keep that the same with the rallies that we're going on. Another video I'm going to be making, Platinum Run Rally intro video, because we're in that. Yeah, not too much else to go over with you guys here, to be honest. I love the car. I seriously freaking love this car. I love the wrap. It had a brown paint job, and like the wheels kind of suck because they're 14s. It's another thing. Like I said, the suspension, better than my truck suspension because it's got so much meat on the tires. The sidewall is just huge, and there's so much rubber there, not to mention the suspension is just so boat-like, and they don't make cars like this anymore. I know that sounds so cheesy when they say it. Oh, one problem I'm having, if you check this down here, that's loose, but you can tighten up a screw in there or just replace this with one of the ones back there. I'm gonna spin you around. Actually, no, I don't have to do that. Okay. Aside from that, the seats, the horsehair, this is like a bed spring. If you ever find a W123, please hop in there and just sit in the car just to see exactly how lavish these seats are. I'm actually gonna lounge here with you guys for the rest of the video. Whew. Oh, modifications. So here's a funny story about the AMG badges. When I bought this car, it had AMG badges inside of it, which I'll you know, flash you some logos of that, pictures of that. I went all out with the steering wheel. I cut up the old AMG badge. I found another one that I cut in half. They had extra AMG badges in the car. I didn't buy any of these AMG things. They came with the fucking car. I just think it's so funny because the car is so slow. Maybe the other owner had the same idea I did. He was like 90 years old and about to die. I'm not even going to get into exactly what I paid for this and all that stuff, but just know that I got a great deal on this. I think because this guy knows he was about to die. And maybe he had the same thought process as I do, is why I'm keeping these on here. It's fucking hilarious when people see the AMG badges and then they try to race you and you have like 80 horsepower. It's not even like I'm trying to make the car look cool. It's just freaking hilarious that this car is the slowest thing I've ever driven in my life. It is a tractor. It is a turbo or non-turbo diesel inline 5 cylinder diesel engine. It's a 3-liter, I'm pretty sure. It is so slow. The straight pipe exhaust, I have some exhaust videos which I'll link in here too, but they're yeah, it's a 2¼ galvanized pipe, galvanized steel pipe that I custom welded to fit the contour of the original exhaust. Smoke tested it, butt welded everything. It's all good to go. I'm not a welder, but I can weld, and this is my first time welding an exhaust on the car, which is why I kind of want to try and go for a custom exhaust on my Porsche 997S if I don't find any exhaust that I really truly love. I don't know if I will. because I can make an exhaust for under $500 with the proper parts and equipment to make it super light, or I could buy an exhaust for $2 grand, $3 grand, $4 grand, and it not sound exactly how I want it. I don't know if I can get myself to do that, because like I said, I'm not really like a handyman, but I'm definitely a F you, I'll do it myself kind of guy. Just to try it, see how I like it, and if I suck at it, then we go with the you know, have somebody else do it for me thing. It's not because I'm cheap, it's because I like to experience stuff. I'm 25 years old, I'm trying to see what I really love doing in life, and you know, aside from all the other businesses, which if you guys are interested in that, I can get in the videos with that in the future, but yeah, realistically, I like trying new things. I like seeing if I suck at something and seeing how I can get better and picking it apart and just, you know, thinking. I also have window tint all around the car from Dynamic Tint. We have 5% 3M nanocarbon color stable tint. And that's it. Oh, my fuel gauge doesn't work, so I do have a digital fuel gauge. I'd like to go fully digital with everything in this car if I could, like speedo and all that stuff, but I'll save that for another time. I'm not gonna make modifications like that to the car unless I have to. Like, once things start to go out, I will replace them with modern things. Like, say if the suspension fails, I'm gonna get nice, good suspension for the car. I'm gonna totally, over time, transform this car into a much more reliable, better car, because I have some interesting plans for it that I'm really trying to execute once I get the garage built up. I'm gonna stop talking and running my mouth. I will catch you guys in another video. Don't focus in on my finger, focus, there we go, on me. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I'm not asking you like every other channel does. I'm never gonna beg you guys to do stuff like other channels do. I just don't like doing that. For your advantage, hit that red subscribe button down below, and then to the right of it, there is a bell. Once you hit subscribe, to the right of it, well, you know, I don't know which side you're seeing, but to the right of it, there is a bell that enables notifications, and that is going to spoon feed you notifications and videos every time I make a video. If you like Mercedes-Benz, if you like supercars, if you like Porsche, I own all of the sorts, so I hope you enjoy the content. I hope you're enjoying the content. I've got a lot of cool things planned for the next upcoming months. You can't miss it. If you do miss it, then, well, whatever. But if you don't miss it, you're gonna love it. And on that note, give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, or give it a thumbs down. Let me know your feedback. Comment below what you want to see on the channel. Interact with me, guys. I respond to all my comments, as many as I can. So get after it.